Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of ApeCoin TA. If you're new to the channel, warm welcome. In this episode, we're going to be looking at how ApeCoin is performing against the US dollar, talk about our predictions from the previous video, see how it's panning out, and then we're going to wrap up things with the ApeCoin BTC pair, a very underrated chart that a lot of people do need to go check out if you are trading Ape. And we're going to wrap things up looking at how the Bitcoin dominance is doing and talking about how this is likely to bleed over into the Ape BTC pair if we do keep on seeing a rise. Let's jump right into today's video. So starting off on the daily time frame, we have just had a pretty convincing breakdown of this triangle pattern. Now there's a few different ways you can slice this. I would also like to mention that this is also a massive bearish pennant. You know, I have to draw it all the way back up to $27. If you want to be slightly more conservative, you can draw it to 17. Either way, no matter which way you slice it, the price target is going to be super bearish. It's going to be in the minuses, so I'm not even going to focus on it because I don't think it's going to be coming into fruition at all. Obviously we're not going to go into the minuses. I feel like that's enough said. If we look at the daily volume, there's actually not a plethora of volume coming in on either Coinbase or CoinEx, which is what I am charting these charts over on. If we hop over to the 4-hourly time frame, there's a few different things that we do need to note about this breakdown from this triangle pattern. Apart from the obvious fact we are breaking down from a triangle pattern, we have a few miniature patterns that are playing out on the chart. Now, depending on if you want to draw it like this, because you know we had a little wick over here, nonetheless, we do have a micro head and shoulders pattern breakdown that in theory should be carrying us all the way down to $4.55. Now, in previous videos, I've been saying my price target for Ape in the next week, the next 2 weeks or so, is to come down to $4.20. Let's see how that's been panning out since our last video. So we wrapped up the last video, we were around about $6.32. You know, I was calling for this 33% drop. We haven't done anything crazy. We're down about 8.5% since that prediction, so it is panning out okay. I still do expect Ape to drop about another 27% before we do see anything of a major bounce. Bear in mind, am I saying that the absolute bottom of ApeCoin has to be at $4.20? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It can go a lot lower than that. However, that is my next price target. I want to see how we do react to 420. This isn't just some, you know, random funny number that I pulled out of my ass. This is actually because from this low down here to this high, the most recent super swing impulse, the 3.618 is down here at $4.20. We also do have another couple of fibs. We've got a macro one down here. We're about as macro as you can get on this chart, from the lows at 5.11 all the way up to the candle body closes at 9.28. This yields us with the 1.618. I basically have this big green box down here. I'm going to mark a few areas of you know, places where we can expect some ranges of support to be playing out. There's so many price targets in here. For example, you know, we've also got another fib 1.618 down here at $2.78 from this low to this high, the candle body close. So $4.20 is my first price target for Ape. If we do break below 420, bear in mind the next level of support isn't until we come down to this double 1.618 fib between the ranges of approximately $2.75 and $2.68. The next level down from that could be about $1.90. Below there, at this moment in time, I do not have any price targets below this range. I'll keep an eye on that if we do start to move below. But like I said, $4.20 is my immediate price target. Nothing has changed in that respect. If you are looking for maybe a tiny bounce as we do fulfill the price target of the head and shoulders, you do have $4.55, like I previously mentioned down here, from where we are at this moment in time. And I do think this is going to be playing out in the next week or so. We can expect to move down of about 21% or so. Do not be fooled, you know, we can still move up to some of these higher price targets. For example, you know, we've got the EMA ribbons on the 4-hour and the 13 EMA and the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern and the lows previous support that could potentially be flipped as resistance coming in at about $6. So we've got a plethora a plethora of reasons to potentially come back up to here before we do go down for one low. So don't be surprised if we do move up maybe to 625 or so in the short term before we come down. Am I predicting that we were going to move up to 625 before we come down? Absolutely not. I'm just saying this is a possibility. My prediction is we're going to move down to 420. I don't care what happens in the 1 minute time frame, the 1 second time frame. This is a prediction for the next week or so. Looking at some of our momentum indicators, if we start off with the 4 hourly squeeze mom, we've really started to lose momentum. Daily time frame, we've been building momentum to the downside for quite some period in time. As you can imagine, we've been capitulating below all of the moving averages. We haven't come anywhere near your EMA ribbons, although the 13 EMA we've been getting, you know, it's been the harshest resistance since we flipped it at $17.70. Since then, we got smashed against it at $9. We broke down, you know, we collided with it again around about the $8 range, got rejected again. This converged down. If I move this trend line, we converged with it again at $7.23, and quite recently, yesterday, we converged with it at $6.36. So you're probably noticing a pattern every time we come up into this. The next time we come back into this, we're at a much lower price. So I am expecting this move down. Don't be surprised if we have a bounce on the way. You know, there are some places we can bounce at. This is why I'm saying in the next week, I think we're going to move down here. There are a few other, you know, slightly miniature patterns that are playing out within this bigger market structure. Let me see if this is much better defined on the daily time frame. In my opinion, you can also see there is this big M pattern. Now, I think this is going to be pretty brutal if this does pan out. I wonder if this is going to head down into the minuses if we do. Let's take the price target of this M pattern breakdown. And you can see the next price target we would have for this would carry us all the way down to $2.06, which is basically the bottom of this green support range. So once again, there is a plethora of reasons why we could come between the ranges of $4.20 and basically $1.94, $1.95. Let's call it $4.20 and $2. This is kind of where I expect ApeCoin is going to be moving down and potentially having its bear market bottom in. Now, I don't personally expect us to move down below $1.90. This would be approximately a 67% drop, and bear in mind at this moment in time, I'm not predicting, you know, this to be happening or to be playing out. At this moment in time, I'm very comfortable to predict $4.20. So at this moment in time, I am starting to build up some short positions over on ApeCoin. This is just my trading plan. You don't have to follow it. I don't recommend anyone follows my trades. This is just what I'm doing with my portfolio. I'm currently getting ready to enter a short position over on ApeCoin. I do kind of want us to come back up to about $6 before I put in that short. I haven't been looking at the charts as much today, so I've only just noticed this breakdown. I've been having a migraine develop over the past 24 hours, so I've been absent from the charts. But here I am again, and so yeah, I'd be waiting for this move back up to $6. That is when I'd be looking to make a leverage short. I wouldn't want my stop loss to be below $7. So that would be, this is a 15% move. So either way, you know, if I'm doing a 10x leverage, I would be getting stopped out at $6.65. That is something that you do have to be aware of. And we could come up to the daily EMA ribbons that this would be roughly converging down in the next day or two to about 6.92. So bear in mind, if you are using a 10x leverage, we do come back up to the EMA ribbons and confirm them as resistance, then you might be wiped out of that trade. So be very cautious if you're planning on trading. But yeah, like I said, ApeCoin USD not really looking good on pretty much all time frames. You know, bear in mind, we did talk about these M pattern breakdowns, head and shoulders breakdowns, rejections from moving averages and all that good stuff. But one more important thing to notice is the most mid to macro fib that we can actually run off at this moment in time is this low to high, and you've capitulated below the 786 at $6.17. So I really think this is starting to look like a beautiful short position that I'm definitely very interested to enter over on ApeCoin. Like I said, I do think we're moving down between the ranges of approximately $4.55, which is this head and shoulders breakdown, and then also $4.20. I'm going to remove this drawing over here. I'm also going to remove this. So if you've watched this video now, you know where these price targets are going to be for future videos. That is what I see playing out over on ApeCoin. Let's check out the Fibonacci's very quickly. Yeah, really not looking good. Absolute landslide. I imagine if we come over to the weekly, we haven't poked our head in the green for quite some time. So the trend is definitely your friend on this one. Do not try and fight this. The only somewhat bullish sign I notice is that we are running out of volume, but we are also dropping quite dramatically, and this can start to step up very quickly. So that is what I see planning out for ApeCoin against the US dollar. Let's check out what's going on with Bitcoin very quickly. Now, also, you know, the most macro fib that we have to run off over on ApeCoin BTC is from this, basically the mint down here over on Binance up to here to the all-time high. And the 786 has not yet been capitulated below, but in my opinion, I do think we are gearing up for that next breakdown. If we clear the chart once again, a more midterm fib that we have been running off is from this low to this high, and you have capitulated below the 786. We've actually, on the 4-hourly, I believe, we've bounced back up to the 786, and we've confirmed it as resistance, and a bunch of selling volume has come in. So what I actually think I'm going to do, as I do believe ApeCoin BTC is often a very nice leading indicator of what can happen over on ApeCoin USD. I think because of this, looking at both of these charts in tandem, that after I finish this video, so bear in mind at this price, $5.78, 79 cents, whatever, I am going to be putting a 10x leverage short over on ApeCoin. I do think this is heading down to lower price targets. This is just my opinion. Let's backtest this chart a little bit and talk about the last level in which ApeCoin would need to hold against Bitcoin to be bullish. And like I said, it is down here at this 786 Fibonacci. In the previous video, just like we had a prediction over on the USD pair, we made a prediction on the BTC pair. I was predicting about a 17% drop. We really haven't started to move down too fast. Only about 4.5% down against Bitcoin so far. But all in all, I'm actually predicting a 61.5% drop against Bitcoin. So this is my short-term target that I think we're going to move down to. I wouldn't be surprised if we did have a bounce from this and move back up, but I do think we're going to head down. Bear in mind, my gut feeling is that we are going to be moving down to the 1.618. So, you know, when I say we could come back up to here, this is really a very small term prediction. And I don't want people to think, you know, I'm saying that this is going to come down and then it's going to bounce against Bitcoin. No, I'm saying I think we're coming down to these lower price targets. I'm much more interested in what happens on the daily and the weekly time frame. I really don't care about these, you know, small moves up before we come back down. As you can see, I didn't care about this move up before we came down. I didn't care about this move when we came up before we went down. Tons of, you know, YouTubers, I see thumbnails, even though I don't watch other crypto YouTubers, I still get recommended videos from them. Occasionally, I do watch Ben Cohen. If you don't already watch Ben Cohen, I definitely recommend you check him out. He is one of the greatest. But that being said, I don't watch other YouTubers. I simply really don't have enough time, or at least I don't watch other crypto YouTubers. I still get recommended their content, and it seems like people are still kind of moon boyish on this, which is very strange to me because we're very clearly bearish against both Bitcoin and the US dollar. So once again, you know, the Bitcoin pairs capitulated below the most important level, which is the 618 fib. I actually think the 618 was better respected from here. So your 786 would actually be about a 26% drop or so. Let's see, 618 here. It seems like they're respected either way, and we actually perfectly bounced on the 786 down here. So I'm going to keep it like this. If you are, you know, a little bit more of a moon boy, or you're hoping for a little bit more hopium than me, like I said, there is a chance that we could have a bounce after we drop about another 23%. That being said, though, I would not be betting on bounces. I am betting for moves back to the downside. So wrapping up this video, I want to quickly talk about the Bitcoin dominance. And you might be thinking, you know, why is this guy talking about Bitcoin dominance? I came here for ApeCoin, but the fact of the matter is, I like to check out how these altcoins are performing against the US dollar, but more specifically, when we're in these bearish territories that we are in now, I like to evaluate how these altcoins are doing against Bitcoin, because if you're invested in ApeCoin and it's not performing well against Bitcoin, then what's the point? You're taking on 100 times the amount of risk if you were just holding Bitcoin, and it's not outperforming Bitcoin. Am I saying that we should never invest in ApeCoin? I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying we should wait for a trend reversal. Just like, you know, when I was previously trading Ape, if you've been watching my videos on Ape since I started covering this, you know that the most recent trade we did was down here. We got back into the market at $11 and we sold We didn't sell at the exact top. We were drawing from the low down to the high. We sold at the 1.618 fib up here at $23.80. It proceeded to go up to $27. That was the top. So we didn't quite catch the top, but we more or less caught the top. I mean, we caught the top on the 4-hourly time frame, which is actually beautiful. We didn't spend more than 4 hours above our take profit target, which was great. And since then, I've been sitting on the sidelines. This is what I really emphasize in my channel. I am a trader. I do like these altcoins, but I like Bitcoin more. I'm here to trade these altcoins to accumulate more Bitcoin. That is my trading plan. So when I see these altcoins underperforming against Bitcoin, then I simply wait for a trend reversal. When that trend reversal comes, I will let you know. But at this moment in time, Bitcoin dominance is on a rampage. You know, the dump that we've had today isn't even showing up over on the Heikinashi candles. In fact, we really haven't been dumping on the Heikinashis for more than 3 days, and these are all doji candles. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a couple of days of sideways chop for the Bitcoin dominance before Bitcoin does start outperforming again. Bear in mind, the Bitcoin dominance has literally gone on a 15% move, and you might be thinking, 15% is nothing. There's shitcoins that pump 500% every day, but the fact of the matter is the Bitcoin dominance is the percent of the total crypto market cap that Bitcoin takes up. So out of that entire bucket of money in the total crypto market cap, Bitcoin has moved up 15% against those altcoins. That is a huge, huge move. And if, like myself, for the past month, you've been sitting in Bitcoin, then you are reaping the rewards, because these altcoins are just getting exponentially cheaper against Bitcoin. Since we sold ApeCoin, like I said up here, how cheaper are we? Because this is the point of the matter. A lot of people think that, if you're not bullish 24/7, then you're a hater or you don't like the project. That's not the case. I was very bullish on this back here, and I was bearish after we hit the 1.618. So we've got a 76% discount, which once again just shows you that swing traders in altcoin markets specifically do outperform altcoin hodlers that just end up holding onto bags and watching all their profits evaporate when you come into the bear market. So be very, very cautious if you're trading ApeCoin right now. Like I said, at this moment in time, I am going to be putting in a short over on ApeCoin. Like I said, as always, though, not financial advice. I do see this coming down. My price targets. I think this is coming down to at least $4.20. If we do break below $4.20, expect to move down to about $2.76. We're not going to come down there in the next day or so, in my opinion. So I will keep you updated. We'll take this day by day, but at this moment in time, ApeCoin not looking good. 455 and 420 are definitely on my mind within the next week or so. That's all I've got for you for ApeCoin. As always, best of luck. Hope you found some value in this content. Like I said, cowboy out. Peace.